In this video, I'm going to show you how to track foods that you're not super sure about. So we are going to be guesstimating as close as you can for whatever food that you are eating. So if you are eating some random dessert at a cookout, or maybe it's a casserole at your grandma's house or something like that, we're just going to estimate. So how you're going to portion this type of food out is portion it out with a cupped handful. So you can kind of look at your hand, cup it, and think the portion is going to fit into the cup of your hand, right? And for every cupped handful that you have of this dessert, for example, we're going to call that 20 carbs plus 15 grams of fat. Now, obviously, each food is going to have different things in it, but for most casseroles and most desserts are going to have a similar amount for that cupped handful. There's only so much that you can actually put into that amount of food. So this is a great way to still track something, even if it's not super accurate yet. You are going to get better as you do this more often. And then I'm also going to show you how to track an alcoholic beverage that you know the amount of calories that is associated with it. So let's pretend that you've got a cupped handful of some awesome like Oreo pudding dessert. Okay, so we need to track this as 20 carbs and 15 grams of fat. So how do we do that? We're going to press the blue plus sign and we're going to act like we're adding in a meal. You can obviously take a picture of it, of the dessert or whatever. I highly recommend doing that so you have an idea of the portion size. But for now, we're just going to skip that. And then we're going to go into custom. And what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be adding in 1 gram of carb and then 1 gram of fat. And then you can also add in 1 gram of protein. So if there's any time that you are eating something and maybe it's a casserole that actually has some meat in it, you can kind of guesstimate and see if you can add in a little bit of protein. But for now, I'm going to show you how to add in carbs, how to add in fats, and then you can go back and add in the protein if you'd like. So add custom. And then once we do this one time, you won't need to do this again because it's going to live in your custom food section. So we're going to call this carb. And we're going to put 1 gram. The calories for 1 gram of carbs is 4, and then 1 carb. And then you're going to save that. We're going to put 0 for the other numbers that are required and save that in. So now you're going to have 1 carb. So we're going to add in 20 grams of carbs. So you can see that that comes out to 80 calories. Awesome. So now we need to add in 15 grams of fats. So we're going to create a custom food, call it fat, and then 1 gram. And you can pause this video to add this in and start doing it yourself. So for every gram of fat, there is 9 calories associated with it. We're going to do 0 protein, 0 carbs, and just 1 gram of fat. Awesome. So now we saved that. And now we're going to add in 15 grams of fat. And now you can see that this dessert that we're eating, we're assuming that it has 215 calories. So we're going to review that. So now you can see I added in 20 grams of carbs, 15 grams of fats, and then we're just going to log that as a food. So now you have logged this food that you weren't entirely sure how to do it or how to add it in. And that's totally okay because we're just trying to get a better understanding of foods and portion sizes. So this gives you something to go off of. And then it helps us as your coach to go through and be like, okay, like you ate something this day instead of like having a full day where you didn't track anything, or maybe you only tracked like breakfast and lunch. And then to us, it looks like you barely had any calories that day, but if you did actually eat more that day, it helps us to gather more information so that we can provide you with the best adjustments moving forward. So track something. Anytime that you're not sure how to track it, just guess and put how many carbs and how many fats you think is in that. I am just going to go ahead and show you how to add in protein as well. It's the same exact way. So you go to custom food, add custom food. We're just going to call it protein. So then you have all of these in your arsenal so that you can track if you've got like a random piece of chicken and you just want to throw it in there real quick instead of looking it up or something like that. So for every gram of protein, remember there's 4 calories. We're going to do 1 gram protein, 0 carbs, 0 fats, and then save that in. So now you've got the option if you have a casserole that maybe this cupped handful has some meat in it or something like that, then you can go ahead and add in, maybe it has like maybe 10 grams of protein, or you're kind of guessing that it does. Then you can add that in there, and now you're logging protein like that. All right, awesome. So the last thing that I want to show you here is that you can also do this with adding in an alcoholic beverage. You still want to track your alcohol because alcohol, again, has calories in it. So if you are having a couple White Claws, let's say that you had 2 White Claws, that is 200 calories. So we want to do a little bit of math here. So 200 calories, and you can track this all as carbs, or you can track it half as carbs and half as fats. So let's pretend like we're going to do that. Half is carbs, so 100 divided by 4, since there's 4 calories per gram of carbs, we're trying to figure out how many carbs we should track this as. So we're going to track it as 25 carbs, and then the other half, we're going to divide by 9, since there's 9 calories per gram of fat, and that comes out to 11.1, so we're just going to round it to 11. So that means we need to track 11 grams of fat and 25 grams of carbs for the 2 White Claws that we ate or drank. So we're going to go to carbs. We're going to add 25 in there. So you can see that it comes out to 100 calories. And then for the fats, we're going to go to 11, add that in. And here we go. So we've got 2 White Claws in there, 199 calories. That's close enough. 25 carbs and 11 grams of fat. Log that in. And now you have logged in your White Claws, you've logged in your dessert that you had, and you're good to go. So this gives us something to actually go off of, and it gives you the awareness around what you're eating. And ultimately, that's what this is all about. It's not about feeling bad. So if you see like, oh, I've got a lot of calories in there from alcohol or something like that, that's totally okay. This is all about tracking it and becoming aware of it, because you've probably never tracked your drinks before. So the first time you do this, it's going to feel kind of weird, and you're going to get a good idea of where you're at with things, but that's okay. We don't want to judge ourselves for it. We just want to see what it looks like and then make better decisions in the future. So I hope this helped. Please comment below what questions you have, or ask your coach directly. And we are really looking forward to seeing how you do this and how you grow throughout learning these kinds of things. And I'll see you in the next one.